What if the future of artificial intelligence wasn't confined to Earth? What if the next frontier for human consciousness wasn't just digital, but cosmic? Welcome to the story of XAI, a company that's not just building smarter algorithms, but reimagining the relationship between humanity, intelligence, and the universe itself. In this deep dive, we'll explore how XAI is racing past traditional AI competitors, developing specialized models that could revolutionize everything from coding to video generation, building computational infrastructure on a scale never before attempted, integrating social media and financial services into a unified digital ecosystem, and ultimately, perhaps most audaciously, planning to extend human intelligence beyond our planet and into the cosmos. This isn't science fiction. This is happening now. Let's begin. In the world of artificial intelligence, speed is survival, and XAI is operating at a velocity that's leaving established players scrambling. Founded in March 2023, XAI entered a market dominated by giants. OpenAI, founded in 2015, Google's DeepMind, established in 2010, and Anthropic, created in 2021. These companies had years, sometimes decades of head start. Yet within months, XAI launched Grok, its flagship conversational AI, directly competing with ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini. But what truly sets XAI apart isn't just what they're building, it's how fast they're building it. Traditional AI companies operate with caution, born of established infrastructure and institutional momentum. They have legacy systems to maintain, boards to satisfy, and reputations to protect. XAI, by contrast, operates with what industry insiders call startup metabolism, the ability to pivot, iterate, and deploy at speeds that would be impossible for larger, more bureaucratic organizations. Consider the numbers. While OpenAI took approximately 2 years from GPT-3 to GPT-4, XAI moved from concept to competitive product in less than 6 months. Where Google spent years building computational infrastructure for its AI models, XAI is constructing what it calls Colossus, one of the world's most powerful AI training clusters in record time. This velocity advantage comes from several factors. First, XAI benefits from its founders' experience at the cutting edge of technology. Elon Musk's track record at Tesla and SpaceX demonstrated that seemingly impossible timelines could be achieved through relentless focus and unconventional approaches. Second, XAI isn't constrained by the need to monetize legacy products or maintain backward compatibility. Every decision can be optimized for future capability, not past commitments. Third, and perhaps most importantly, XAI operates with what could be called vertical integration of purpose. Unlike companies juggling multiple business units and stakeholder interests, XAI has a singular, laser-focused mission. This alignment eliminates the friction that slows down larger organizations. The result? While competitors are still perfecting last generation's models, XAI is already building the infrastructure for the next generation and the one after that.
Specialized AI models. Most AI companies are building generalist models, systems designed to handle any task reasonably well. XAI is taking a different approach, specialization at scale. Think of it this way. A general practitioner doctor can treat many conditions, but when you need brain surgery, you want a neurosurgeon. Similarly, while Grok can handle general conversations and queries, XAI is developing specialized models optimized for specific, high-value tasks. Coding models, the software engineers of tomorrow. First, let's talk about coding models. Software development is a $500 billion global industry, and it's facing a critical shortage of skilled developers. Current AI coding assistants like GitHub Copilot help with autocomplete and simple functions, but they're still tools that require human expertise to use effectively. XAI's specialized coding models aim higher. These aren't just autocomplete systems. They're designed to understand entire code bases, architectural patterns, and complex dependencies. Imagine describing a software feature in plain language and receiving not just code, but fully functional, tested, documented implementations that integrate seamlessly with existing systems. The implications are staggering. A small startup could operate with the effective engineering capacity of a large tech company. Legacy companies could modernize ancient code bases in months instead of years. Individual developers could focus on creative problem-solving while AI handles the repetitive boilerplate work that currently consumes 70% of development time. Video generation, democratizing creative production. Next, video generation. The current state of AI video is impressive but limited. Tools like Runway and Pika can create short clips, but they struggle with consistency, narrative coherence, and complex scenarios. XAI's approach to video generation reportedly focuses on narrative intelligence, understanding not just how objects move and interact, but why they do so within the context of a story. This means generating videos that maintain character consistency across scenes, follow narrative logic, and respect physical laws, or intentionally break them for creative effect. Consider the entertainment industry. A typical Hollywood production costs tens of millions of dollars and requires hundreds of specialized professionals. With advanced video generation, indie creators could produce cinematic content from their laptops. Educators could create custom educational videos for every learning style. Businesses could generate personalized marketing content at scale. Business emulation, the strategic intelligence layer. Perhaps most intriguing is XAI's work on business emulation models. These systems are designed to simulate how businesses operate, make decisions, and respond to changing conditions. Think of it as creating a digital twin of a company, not just its data, but its decision-making patterns, cultural dynamics, and strategic tendencies. A CEO could test strategies in simulation before implementing them in reality. Investors could model how companies will respond to market changes. Supply chains could anticipate disruptions before they cascade through the economy. This technology represents a fundamental shift from descriptive analytics, telling us what happened, to prescriptive simulation, showing us what could happen under different scenarios. The key insight underlying all these specialized models is that intelligence isn't monolithic. Just as humans develop domain expertise, AI can develop specialized capabilities that far exceed generalist alternatives. And XAI is betting that the future belongs to companies that can deploy the right specialized intelligence for every task.
AI models are only as good as the computational infrastructure behind them, and XAI is building infrastructure that redefines what's possible. Meet Colossus, XAI's supercomputer cluster and potentially the most powerful AI training system in the world. To understand its significance, we need to talk about scale. Modern AI models like GPT-4 or Claude were trained on clusters containing tens of thousands of GPUs working in parallel. This requires not just raw hardware, but sophisticated networking to allow these processors to communicate, cooling systems to prevent overheating, and power infrastructure to deliver consistent electricity measured in megawatts. Building such clusters typically takes years of planning, construction, and testing. Major tech companies have spent the last decade carefully building out this infrastructure, treating it as a strategic moat that smaller competitors couldn't easily cross. XAI, characteristically, is attempting to do it faster. Reports suggest Colossus is being built in months, not years, using an aggressive approach that prioritizes rapid deployment over traditional methodologies. The exact specifications remain closely guarded, but industry analysts estimate Colossus could house over 100,000 high-end GPUs, potentially making it larger than any single training cluster operated by OpenAI, Google, or Meta. The power requirements alone would rival a small city. But why does this matter? 3 reasons. First, scale enables capability. Many AI breakthroughs aren't clever algorithms, they're simply a result of training larger models on more data. The relationship between computational power and model capability follows a surprisingly predictable scaling law. Double the compute, and you get measurably better performance. Second, scale enables speed. With more computational resources, you can train models faster, iterate on ideas more quickly, and test more hypotheses simultaneously. In a field where months of lead time can mean market dominance, this matters enormously. Third, scale enables specialization. Remember those specialized models we discussed? Each one requires its own training process. With Colossus, XAI could potentially train multiple specialized models simultaneously, coding models, video models, business emulation models all at once, while competitors must choose which models to prioritize. But there's a challenge: power. AI training is phenomenally energy-intensive. Training a single large language model can consume as much electricity as 100 American homes use in a year. A facility like Colossus could require hundreds of megawatts, raising questions about sustainability, cost, and grid capacity. This power challenge is precisely what drives the next part of XAI's vision, one that takes the company beyond Earth entirely.
XAI isn't building AI in isolation. It's building AI as the brain of an integrated digital ecosystem, one that combines social media, financial services, and intelligent assistance into a single, unified platform. The strategy centers on X, formerly Twitter, which Elon Musk acquired in 2022. But this isn't just about adding AI features to a social network. It's about reimagining what a digital platform can be when social connection, financial transactions, and artificial intelligence converge. Consider how we currently navigate digital life. We use one app for social media, another for payments, another for banking, another for shopping, another for content creation, and yet another for AI assistance. Each transition between apps creates friction: login credentials to remember, data that doesn't transfer, contexts that must be re-established. The vision for X is to eliminate this friction. Imagine this scenario. You're discussing a topic with friends in a thread. The conversation turns to planning a group trip. An AI assistant, understanding the context, suggests destinations based on your group's interests and constraints. Someone asks about costs. The AI provides estimates. Everyone agrees on a plan. Right there, in the same interface, you can split the booking costs, make payments, and coordinate logistics, all without leaving the conversation. Or consider business use. A company announces a product on X. Customers can ask questions, and the AI provides instant, contextually aware responses. Interested buyers can complete purchases directly in the thread. The company receives payments, and the AI handles customer service, all within a single integrated experience. The financial services component is particularly strategic. Currently, payment platforms like PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App operate as separate services with their own networks, fees, and limitations. By integrating payments directly into a social platform powered by AI, X could become the default way billions of people handle digital transactions. This isn't unprecedented. In China, WeChat has achieved something similar, serving as a combined social media, messaging, payment, and service platform used by over 1 billion people for everything from chatting with friends to paying utility bills to ordering food. X's ambition is to create a Western equivalent, but with AI as its foundational technology rather than an added feature. The data advantages are enormous. Every social interaction, transaction, and AI query creates data that can improve the system. The AI learns what content resonates, what products people want, what questions people ask. This creates a flywheel. Better AI attracts more users create more data creates better AI. Critics argue this level of integration creates concerning concentrations of power and data. Supporters counter that users benefit from reduced friction and improved experiences. Regardless of where you stand, one thing is clear:
If XAI succeeds in building this integrated ecosystem, it would represent a fundamentally different model for how we interact with digital technology.
Intelligence beyond Earth. Now we reach the most audacious part of XAI's vision, taking artificial intelligence to space. This might sound like science fiction, but the logic is compelling. Remember the power problem we discussed? As AI models grow more powerful, their energy requirements grow exponentially. We're already approaching the limits of what Earth's infrastructure can sustainably provide. Space offers a solution, effectively unlimited energy from the sun. Every second, the sun outputs more energy than humanity has used in all of recorded history. On Earth, we capture only a tiny fraction of this through solar panels, limited by atmosphere, weather, and the day-night cycle. In space, solar collection can be continuous and far more efficient. XAI's long-term vision includes orbital data centers, massive computational facilities in space powered by solar arrays that never experience nighttime or cloudy days. The vacuum of space also provides natural cooling, one of the biggest challenges in running large-scale computing clusters. But building infrastructure in orbit requires manufacturing capability. Launching everything from Earth would be prohibitively expensive. This is where the lunar component enters the picture. The lunar surface offers several advantages. Low gravity makes launching materials into orbit easier. Its far side provides protection from Earth's radio interference, and its regolith, the lunar dust covering the surface, contains raw materials that could be processed into construction materials, solar panels, and electronics. Imagine robotic facilities on the lunar surface, mining raw materials, processing them using solar power, and manufacturing components for orbital data centers. These components could be launched from the lunar's lower gravity at a fraction of the cost of Earth launches, enabling the construction of computational infrastructure on a scale impossible to achieve from Earth alone. The timeline for this vision extends decades into the future, but the groundwork is being laid today through SpaceX, another company where Elon Musk plays a central role. SpaceX's Starship is being designed to carry both passengers and cargo to the moon and beyond, with the explicit goal of making space access cheap and routine. If successful, this creates a symbiotic relationship. SpaceX provides the transportation infrastructure, XAI provides the computational intelligence needed for autonomous space operations, and together they enable an expansion of human capability beyond Earth. The scale of intelligence possible with space-based infrastructure would be orders of magnitude beyond anything achievable on Earth. We're talking about AI systems that could process information at speeds we barely can conceptualize, tackle problems that current systems can't even approach, and potentially develop capabilities that move beyond narrow task completion towards something resembling general intelligence. Critics point out the immense technical, economic, and regulatory challenges. Space operations remain expensive and risky. International space law is unclear about commercial mining and manufacturing. The reliability requirements for space-based computational infrastructure are orders of magnitude higher than terrestrial systems. These are valid concerns, but they're the same concerns that were raised about reusable rockets, electric vehicles, and private space stations, all things that were considered impossible until they weren't.
Preserving consciousness. Underlying all of XAI's technical ambitions is a deeper philosophical question. What is the ultimate purpose of artificial intelligence? For most companies, AI is a tool, a means to automate tasks, increase profits, or improve services. But XAI's vision suggests something more profound: AI as a mechanism for preserving and extending human consciousness throughout the universe. Consider what makes humanity unique.
We're the only species we know of that deliberately preserves knowledge across generations. We write books, build libraries, create art, and record our experiences so that future generations can learn from our accumulated wisdom. But all of this knowledge, all of this accumulated consciousness exists on a single planet, orbiting a single star, in a universe containing hundreds of billions of galaxies. From a cosmic perspective, humanity's entire existence is incredibly fragile. Asteroid impacts, solar flares, climate change, nuclear war, pandemics. There are numerous scenarios, some natural and some human-caused, that could end or severely damage human civilization. And even if we avoid all these risks, the sun will eventually expand into a red giant, making Earth uninhabitable in about 1 billion years. This is where the merger of AI and space exploration becomes philosophically significant. By creating artificial intelligence and distributing it beyond Earth, humanity could preserve its knowledge, creativity, and consciousness in a form that can survive beyond any single planet. Imagine AI systems operating on orbital platforms, lunar bases, Mars colonies, and eventually beyond our solar system. These systems would carry humanity's accumulated knowledge, values, and ways of understanding the world. They could continue learning, exploring, and creating, even if Earth itself became uninhabitable. This isn't about replacing humanity, it's about extending humanity. Just as books extend our memory beyond what individual brains can hold, and telescopes extend our vision beyond what our eyes can see, artificial intelligence in space could extend human consciousness beyond the limitations of biological form and planetary existence. Some find this vision inspiring, a way to ensure that human civilization's achievements persist regardless of what happens to Earth. Others find it troubling, raising questions of identity, purpose, and what we lose if consciousness becomes untethered from biological form. These are profound questions without easy answers, but they're questions we need to grapple with because the technology to make these scenarios possible is being developed now, not in some distant future.
Conclusion. So where does this leave us? XAI represents a distinctive approach to artificial intelligence, one that combines rapid execution, specialized capability, massive infrastructure, integrated platforms, space ambitions, and philosophical depth into a singular vision. Whether this vision will succeed is an open question. The technical challenges are immense, the economic requirements are staggering, the regulatory hurdles are complex, and the timeline extends far beyond typical corporate planning horizons. But that's precisely what makes XAI's story compelling. In a field dominated by incrementalism and quarterly earnings, XAI is pursuing a genuinely long-term vision, one measured not in years but in decades, and not in market share but in humanity's cosmic footprint. The next few years will be critical. Can XAI deliver on its specialized models? Will Colossus provide the computational advantage needed to compete with established players? Can the X platform achieve its integration goals? And most ambitiously, can the space vision move from concept to reality? These questions will be answered not through speculation, but through execution. And if there's one thing XAI has demonstrated so far, it's a willingness to move faster than anyone thought possible. The story of artificial intelligence is still being written. XAI isn't just trying to be another chapter, it's trying to be a new volume entirely, one that extends the narrative beyond Earth and into the cosmos. Whether you find this inspiring or concerning, one thing is certain. We're living through a pivotal moment in the relationship between intelligence, technology, and humanity's future. And companies like XAI are actively shaping what that future will look like. The next decade will be fascinating to watch.